Thanks for tuning in. This is Kisembo Academy. Today we shall be looking at the kilowatt hour. Now the kilowatt hour is just a unit of electricity. The kilowatt hour is used in the billing of electricity. So what exactly is the kilowatt hour? The kilowatt hour is just simply the amount of electricity energy that is applied at a rate of 1000 watts for 1 hour. So now how much energy is present in just 1 kilowatt hour of electricity? So let's try and find the number of joules in 1 kilowatt hour of electricity. First of all, we know that work done, or let's call it energy. Energy is always measured in joules. And the power is the rate of change of this energy, or the rate of change of work. So meaning that power is going to be equal to the rate of change of energy, which is going to be energy over time. Power being energy over time means that energy is always in joules and time is always in seconds. So it means that power, or 1 watt, because joule per second, power is measured in watts. So it means that 1 watt is going to be equal to 1 joule per second. But now here we want to find out how many joules are in 1 kilowatt hour. I hope we all know that kilo means times 10 to the power 3. So it means that if 1 watt is equivalent to 1 joule per second, what about 1 kilowatt? 1 kilowatt will mean that is times 10 to the power 3 here. So it means it's going to be 1000 joules per second. But then here we're interested in finding 1 kilowatt hour. So it means that 1 kilowatt hour will mean it is going to be 1 kilowatt, which is, we've already gotten as 1000 joules per second, times the number of times the hours, which are equivalent to 3600 seconds. So it's going to be 1000 joules per second. That is what we have in the kilowatt. Then these hours, we're supposed to convert them to seconds, because we are multiplying joules per second. Multiply that by second. So it means 1000 joules per second, multiply that by 3600 seconds. So 3600 seconds is what is present in 1 hour. So that as you're multiplying joules per second by a second, you remain with joules. So it means that the answer we have here is 3.6 times 10 to the power 6 joules. And these are precisely the number of joules that are present in 1 kilowatt hour of energy. Let's look at an example here. Per unit of electric energy is 300. What is the cost of operating 6 bulbs rated at 75 watts, 220 volts for 8 hours? We want to find the cost per unit of electric energy. We want the cost of operating 6 bulbs. So we have 6 bulbs, and each of these bulbs is rated at 75 watts. So it is 75 watts times the 6 bulbs. So how much energy are they consuming? So there are 6 bulbs, each at 75 watts. 75 times 6, that is going to give us 450 watts altogether for these 6 bulbs. So converting this 450 watts into kilowatts, because we're supposed to convert this in terms of kilowatts. So it means that divide this by 1000. So it comes to 0, that is 0.45 kilowatts. So the bulbs are consuming 0.45 kilowatts in just 1 hour. So we're supposed to find how many kilowatt hours are being consumed by these 6 bulbs. So the amount of kilowatt hours consumed by those 6 bulbs is going to become, since there are 6 bulbs and they are operating for 8 hours, so it's going to be 0.45 kilowatts, multiply that by the 8 hours. And 0.45 kilowatts, multiply that by 8 hours, you'll get 3.6 kilowatt hours. So you get the kilowatt hours that are operating by those 6 bulbs. But now the question is telling us that the cost per unit of electricity, and the unit of electricity we are talking about here is the kilowatt hour. So the cost per unit of electricity is 300. So what is the cost of operating these 6 bulbs? So we know that 1 kilowatt hour is equivalent to 300, probably shillings or dollars or whatever. This is the cost of 1 kilowatt hour. How about this 3.6? So it means that 3.6 kilowatt hours are going to be equivalent to, you put there x or unknown. When you cross multiply, your value of x will be 3.6 kilowatt hours times the cost, which is 300, and you'll get your answer as 1080. That's the cost per kilowatt hour. Let's do one more number. Umeme is a utility company. It's a utility company in Uganda. Umeme charges 300 per kilowatt hour. What is the total cost of operating 4 light bulbs at 100 watts for 5 hours? So we have 4 bulbs, and each of these bulbs is rated at 100 watts. So it means that total rating for these bulbs is going to be 4 bulbs times 100 watts. So it's going to be 400 watts. But now these watts are this wattage, let's say they are running for 5 hours. So we multiply this by the 5 hours. So it's going to be 400 watts. Multiply that by the 5 hours and you end up with 20. You end up with 2000 watts. But now this is 300 per kilowatt hour. So it means that you're supposed to convert this to kilowatt hours, because this is how much is consumed in 5 hours by these 4 bulbs. Convert it to kilowatt hours. So converting this to these watts to kilowatts, you simply divide by 1000. When you divide by 1000, 2000 divide by 1000, you'll end up with 2 kilowatts. So it means that these bulbs are going to consume 2 kilowatts in 5 hours. And now we are supposed to find the total cost of operating those 4 bulbs for 5 hours. So since we know that 1 kilowatt costs 300, 1 kilowatt hour costs 300 shillings, whatever. So it means that 2 kilowatts will cost twice that. Let's say it will be x. When we cross multiply, x times 1 is x, is going to be equal to 2 times 3 is 600. And that will be the cost of operating those bulbs. This brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Somebody out there would like to watch this tutorial. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share. For more videos, simply subscribe to this channel. Catch you in the next video. For Kisembo Academy, this is Arnold Rangakurami.